What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Post Credits Podcast. Oh man, I don't know what tomfoolery you guys have going on over there. A show where we are lucky enough to talk about movies with you. This is episode 78, recorded on Sunday, April 19th, 2026. Get posted to podcast services on Tuesday, April 21st. To the usual spots: Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and then YouTube. If you're listening to us on an audio-only version, like so many of you do, please feel free to come on over to YouTube. Check us out there. We can watch full episodes. We have everything segmented out. We try to send some funny clips for you. Like and subscribe, however you choose to enjoy our content. Thank you so very much. I am one of your hosts, Grayson Maxwell. Joining me, as they do every week, are my co-hosts, Roger Stillion and the lovely Chris Boughan.
Yo.
Yo. Chris. I didn't even like it. I just
fine.
said it. I don't know why I said it, but
I'll never forget this. This
All right.
slight.
I know you're so upset, Roger, over there.
Scorned.
Seething. What's going on this week, guys? How are we?
Good. I'm good.
All right. Yeah, great. Doing pretty good right now.
Disappointed in the movie that we watched this week.
Hey, listen.
Straight ass.
Sometimes we watch good ones. Sometimes we watch bad ones.
Sometimes you roll the dice, man, and you just look. I'm disappointed. I was excited. I know you were more excited than I was. I was looking for something out of it, and boy, was I!
Yeah, I just saw some potential, but that wasn't a thing. So
It just didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's. We definitely already used that one, Roger. That was one of the brackets. Definitely was your used one. Sorry. Anyway, so what's going on this week, Chris? What have you been up to?
So still on my watching some sci-fi stuff adventure, trying to catch up to the eventual Terminator 2 rewatch that I have to do. I will say that I finished Dune 2 finally, and gotta say, that movie is really good, man. That movie is pretty dang good. Visually, cinematography is amazing. Sound is great. Soundtrack is amazing. It makes you feel.
It's good. It's about 9 points lower on the quality scale than Terminator 2.
9's a crazy number to try to say, but it is
on every metric. It's lower by at least 8 to 10 points.
That's crazy, but I got you. You mean out of 100?
Out of 100, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When we look at this, when we look at the metrics and the numbers, it is, and every site that ranks films, those two, Terminator is always well above it. So I feel like am I angry at that?
Yes.
Will I ever bring up a movie again because you two idiots will shoot it down? I'm terrified to bring up Braveheart. I'm terrified to talk about Last of the Mohicans. I'm terrified to talk about Field of Dreams because those are three of my favorite movies, and I think you guys are going to put shit in front of them.
I think Braveheart is a very good movie.
I have movies that can combat them, though.
But you don't.
I do.
That's also fair.
Yes, I do.
Fair. Nope.
I assure you I do.
Well, two of those movies are the Best Picture winners from their years, and the other one was damn good.
There have been like 75 Best Picture winners.
I'm aware, but I mean, I don't know what you're trying to put against Braveheart in the same thing.
Goodfellas.
The Princess Bride.
Not even close. No.
Those are good.
Yeah, right?
No. High five. Don't.
That's good. Both of what we just said are very good.
But not Braveheart. Good. You're in timeout. Both of you guys are in timeout.
Very good.
30 seconds of silence.
That was completely unprompted, right on the nose.
30 seconds of silence. We're really starting now.
Pretty good at this.
Or not. Don't listen to me.
I have a movie podcast. I have a movie podcast.
All right. What else is going on?
Not much after that for me on my end. So
I thought I was in timeout.
You're not, because you're not obeying me.
Okay. You're not, because we need to do a show.
That's true.
We're adults.
Speak.
So. Yeah. Adults don't put other adults in timeout. Just saying.
I mean,
some depends on what we're.
I work in a large corporation. Sometimes you just get ignored for a while. It's called left on red.
Oh yeah. That's true. What else is going on? Work. What did I watch this week? I watched some. You know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw back to 2005. Ryan Reynolds, Amityville Horror. I was like, I want to check that one out again. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. I think it's fun to watch. It's bad, but it harkens back to the time of way, way bigger budgets for horror movies than they ever should have been. I wanted to watch it because I watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and I was so upset that it feels like, serious, but we'll get to it in a bit, but it feels like a generic horror film from 2004, 2005. That's what it feels like to me. And I had to go back and watch one that I didn't hate. So
yeah, I can't argue what you just said there, by the way.
But I watched some other things. What else did I watch?
I was watching The Martian before I came here
Oh, The
today,
Martian,
because
okay.
it's on rotation on
Yeah.
like AMC or something right now.
Oh.
And again, it's just something that's on TV.
That's why I watched another movie this week. I completely forgot until you said that. I watched Project Hail Mary again.
Oh,
I took my
You took your
I
daughter?
took my oldest to see it. 'cause
what did she think?
She loved it.
Blown away?
She
Good.
Oh God,
That's
she
great.
was she. Every time something was happening, like she's a cuddler and a snuggler,
Okay.
and as soon as something started happening, she got real close, and I could hear her, I could feel her heartbeat. Like
Good.
she was in complete distress when Rocky is saving Grace, just complete and utter, like, just she was about to fall apart if anything went really, truly bad with Rocky. So it was a cool experience. I got to watch it again, and it was different because I watched it with my daughter, so I definitely had a lot of.
Did you get the full, like, did you get a soft drink and popcorn for her to enjoy while she's
Yeah, we always do that.
okay,
yeah.
cool. I think that it's a different experience without it. And
Yeah.
for kids, especially young ones like your daughter, I think it matters to have the full kind of all the accoutrements with the movie.
Yeah, no, she really loved it. I loved it. Like the experience was different getting to see it with my daughter. Like I got emotional a couple points.
Was it still good?
Oh God, it was. I was dreading going a little bit, and that's because I'm not a movie rewatcher.
Okay.
I take a long time before I rewatch a film, if at all. And I before I started doing this, I never like watched films again in my adult years, like rewatched them or anything. And so like I was kind of dreading it. And I'd just seen it, not too long ago. Talking about the show and
Yeah.
stuff. And as soon as I sat down and the movie started, I was like, no, I'm ready. And as it's playing through, I wasn't bored. I was
Just grinning again.
I was looking at it. I was like watching for different stuff that I may have missed. I was excited to see Carl when he came on screen because
Carl.
Carl rules.
Carl rules.
Like just it was. I'm glad I did it. Like I'm glad I took my daughter. I'm glad we got to see it. She had a great time. And goddamn, it's a really good movie.
Was Ryan Gosling still super handsome?
I mean, not at
Good.
first, but as the movie goes on, he gets more handsome. So yeah.
I used to do that all the time when I was at Carmike and I was a teenager. I used to take friends and I'd watch a movie. I'd watch the new movies 2 or 3 times in a week, and I'd repeat process for years at a time. I loved watching movies for free. I thought it was the greatest perk any minimum wage job could have given you at the time.
Working in a movie theater did have some sweet perks.
If you're a movie person, I mean, if you're not a movie person,
or
then
popcorn person, I bet.
well, yeah,
So to pay
or
for that.
soda because you got all the soda you wanted.
Yeah.
But that's bad because that's a health issue.
Other things that I watched this week, though, The Pit finished up.
Okay.
Season 2 wrapped up, so I watched that. Incredible show. Excellent. Coming back again in, God, I think it's fast. Like November or something. They're doing
Season 3 already?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Something like that. Or maybe, I'm sorry, maybe that's when this next season is set. Some
Okay.
random, like, Thanksgiving weekend or
Maybe.
something like that. So, but yeah, man, I'm pumped. It's a great show. It's sad as hell, emotional, and awesome all at the same time. I can't recommend that enough. Check it out. If you're hospital drama, it's like, it's what you think that ER was back in the early days, if you're old enough to remember that, except it's nothing like this because it's like more real.
Shout out to the parents.
Yeah, I mean, ER was a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check it out.
The only episode I remember of ER, because my mom watched it a lot, and she watched that show religiously.
It was super popular.
The only thing I remember is some bald dude reaching his hand and getting his arm cut off by a helicopter. I remember that though.
Seems like a poor choice of things to do.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Seems like some regret was had by that guy.
You guys, other movie news. Did you guys see the Avatar: The Last Airbender leaks?
I thought that was pretty wild. That's nuts how that happened. But
Did you
yes,
see that,
I mean,
Raj?
I didn't.
Is the whole movie got
The
released?
entire movie got leaked by an internal employee at Paramount.
Yeah, because what was it going? It was supposed to go to Netflix or Paramount
It
Plus.
was supposed to be on theaters. So it was
In
gonna go to
theaters.
theaters. They released the trailer. It exploded with likes and views, and then Paramount said, "You know what? We're going to put this on Paramount Plus instead." And someone internally said, "Hey, listen, this is scummy," and they put it out.
You know what though? I'm sorry, I did see that, but then I remember. So before this episode started, we were looking ahead at me and Grayson started before Chris got here about trying to plan out some future episodes. And when we got to the Last Airbender thing, it's crossed out.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't,
It's in September.
I didn't even think about it.
It's in September. Yeah, it was supposed to be in September, but the whole movie leaked. So
Yep.
let
Whole
that be a
movie's out
lesson to you, greedy corporate bastards, that if someone doesn't like what you're doing and they can do something, I hope they do.
Well, I mean, I also feel
apparently you can just burn down warehouses full of stuff too now. So
I also feel some kind of way about the people that are like just straight just ripping and watching it and stuff too at this point. Because
Sure, I don't condone that, but I mean,
the people that lose out in this are the people that made it.
sure.
And
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and here's the thing: without it finding success in whatever avenue it comes out in, it means that you have now given yourself far less of a chance for the thing you like to have more things made of it. Because if it doesn't perform well in the way that this company wants it to, obviously, then they won't invest in it next time.
Well,
So,
I think that movie would have done gangbusters theatrically released, even in September in a kind of a bad time. I think it would have done very well for itself.
Well,
$200 or $300 million take.
we have seen large movies get released. A serious one that happened when me and you were still working in a movie theater, and I know we've mentioned this on the show before. That's a big one too. Well, I guess not.
I didn't
quite.
hate Armored though. For
No,
what it's worth.
Armored's okay, but it was what was it? Wolverine.
Oh yeah, the X-Men Origins.
X-Men
Wolverine.
Origins. Wolverine.
That got leaked like 2 weeks before it came out.
It was like 10 days, and the whole thing appeared online. And I still think to this day that they sabotaged that movie on purpose.
Well, the movie was bad.
Well, because here's the thing: I think they knew it was going to not be very good.
gave an out for bad.
Well, yeah, and like when it didn't perform, they're like, "Well, of course it didn't perform.
Yeah,
they could just download it."
Well, sure, and the same thing with Armored, because that movie was interesting. At least it was a plot that you don't get very often, and it wasn't. But I can understand the mass appeal. I don't know if like there's like collusion for Sony, like, hey, we know it's not going to make any money, let's leak it. But then there was the whole PlayStation thing, and like,
then they gave it to everybody. So
that was back when they were still releasing trailers for all the films on PlayStation Network.
They come out like,
but they put the whole movie out.
But here's the thing: it was just there. You could just click it, and it would just go.
Yeah.
And I still think it's on my PS3.
It is on mine.
I'm pretty sure it's still there.
I put that on PS3, and I have the Silent Hill PT on the PT demo on my PS4 still.
Sell that for a lot of money now if you wanted.
So that's interesting stuff. I mean, who knows? There could be collusion there, but I'm really upset about the Avatar, because like for the people who like that stuff, like that would have been a great time for them.
That fan base is very loyal.
Dude, they've been chomping for that for years and years and years.
And listen, they're like, the trailer's awesome from what was seen. The clips I've seen of it just on social media, man, that movie probably would have been word of mouth really well for like people that were like internally fans of that.
Well, yeah, and it was coming out during a dead time. Well, supposedly coming out during a deader time, so like it could have ate for a few weeks, and
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
No, that's good. We haven't talked about a lot of news along that kind of line in a while, because they've gotten better at locking that kind of stuff down. But I mean, we're always one disgruntled person away from a giant leak. Like we see that in every other industry all the time, like all the internal Nintendo leaks recently and things like that they are trying to put a lid on, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
And the more they double down, the worse it gets for them. Because they're like, stop telling us not to do it. We will just keep doing it more.
Nintendo kind of does it to itself. Let's be honest. But
I mean, like, look, love them or hate them, Nintendo has a badger of a legal department. But here's the thing: there are some countries that just don't care about that. Like, it just doesn't matter what Nintendo says to you. Because those rules don't apply here. I mean, it might as well be the moon.
Sure, I mean, you're not wrong about that, and if you're not scared of it, then do it. But if you can get away from it,
I'm personally terrified, dude. I had back in the day when I used to stream me just playing Mario 3. Like, I got like 5 strikes for one thing, and it was all for the goddamn music. It was like, what are we doing here?
Mario 3 is a fun game. It's a great game.
It is, dude. It still holds up.
True.
What else? One final thoughts before we head into the show, guys. What's going on?
No. Big news for me. And I mentioned this to Grayson. I didn't get to say it to you yet. I won't be here in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm going on a vacation with a buddy of mine. For mid-May. I think it's the 13th through the 17th or whatever. We'll be gone. We are going to do a Civil War battlefield tour, which is something that we have, like, he's one of my oldest friends. It's something we've talked about since we were like 14. And like 30 years later, we're finally gonna, like, we got grown up money and time, and we can do things like that.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, it's like I for whatever reason wake up in the middle of the night sometimes now, and I just can't fall back asleep like an old man, I guess.
Yeah, about Civil War battlefields.
No, well, so we kind of had this thing brewing for a while, and he was home right after Christmas. And he spent a couple of days with me and my family, and like we really just kept talking about it. And I'm like, why don't we just do this?
There you
go. And so like I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't fall back asleep, so I just started messing around on my phone. And eventually I'm messing around on Chat GPT. I was like, give me a map.
Yeah.
give me a route, give me this, and this have to be included. And like an hour later, I had a full itinerary and with drive time factored in. And it's not expensive because like going to those things, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, they're usually not expensive.
Yeah, the only thing that we decided we're going to spend a little bit of money on is when we're in Gettysburg, because we're doing Gettysburg last, because that's what we were told to do. Because apparently, if you do it first, it ruins all everything else fails to compare to that.
Won't measure up.
But when we get to Gettysburg, it'll be the last day of the trip on the Sunday. We're going to do the full paid guided tour.
Cool.
So we get like the full experience.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So yeah, I told my wife I'm going to steal something. I haven't decided what
Good
yet.
luck.
That's kind of what she said. Good luck. Don't call me.
I'm not bailing you out.
You're gonna have to deal with that on your own.
You got authorities that are Roger's going to steal something from somewhere.
Allegedly.
He hasn't done it yet.
Allegedly.
So you cannot minority report him yet.
This isn't mercy.
Thought crime.
No, let's minority report. Let's give it the right one.
I did mercy.
No.
Stronger after.
No.
Greatest Chris of our generation.
I can't with you two bozos. I cannot. Let's start a show.
Let's do it.
Let's start a show. Once again, folks, this is episode 78, a post-credits podcast, a show where we are lucky enough to talk about movies with you. Let's start, as we always do, with the box office. Number one, surprise to no one, probably for the next week or two, Super Mario Galaxy movie slowing down, $35 million for a $747 worldwide. That's not going to break a billy, though.
Dang.
Not going to break a billy. Project Hail Mary is numero 2, 20.5 for 573. Let's hear it for Project Hail Mary. Like $30 went from Chris this week. So
True.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy, number 3, 13.5 million for a worldwide of 34. That's frankly more than you deserve. The Drama, 4.8 million, number 4 for a worldwide of 81.
We never did look up the budget for that, did we?
Drama, no. You, Me, and Tuscany, 3.8 million is number 5 for a worldwide of 16 million. Not doing great.
The Drama's budget was 28 million.
Number 6 through 10, Hoppers, Normal. Number 8, BTS World Tour, Erang in Japan, live viewing. Number 9, Busboys. Number 10, Booth Bangla. What is going on? I don't know what's going on. I might be getting matrixed or something. Anyway, that's your box office. Nothing crazy there. Well, we're going into summer, so the big ones should be coming.
Yep.
The big ones should be coming. No trail this week. We are going to go to our movie recommendation, though. We have a special activity for a second episode this week, so we're just going to fly through the episode. Roger, hit us with a movie recommendation. One I'm sure we've already used, but
don't actually hit me.
I will hit you.
Hit him.
if I determine so.
This is the kind of punishment. So, since we've already talked about some Evil Dead related things, I know we've talked about Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise on this show. We've never talked about Evil Dead 2, which is what I'm going to recommend today. Not exactly going to be a great bracket contender, but it does kind of fit into this world of The Mummy. I got the particulars if you don't want to worry about it, Grayson. I got them all here. It's comedy horror, 1987, also directed and co-wrote by Sam Raimi. It's kind of his baby. The Evil Dead's his thing. And it picks up with Bruce Campbell, Ash, out there on a vacation with his girlfriend. And
it's a retelling of the first one, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah. And then it gets a little bit silly and, zombies show up and guns. And yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of stop motion animation in it, which is not...
Which is kind of jarring.
It's different.
Yeah.
It makes sense in that.
It does. It fits.
It looks normal, though, still. It looks normal.
And it still has all of... I mean, because this is a direct sequel to Army of Darkness. So, Army of Darkness, which is a wild movie in its own right. I probably could have recommended that.
A direct sequel or prequel? I forget.
Sequel. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's a prequel. The Army of Darkness is after that. But yeah, I mean,
stuck in the portal right after this one.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. It's crazy, and it's a cult classic. It's something that if you sit down and you watch like the first Evil Dead and the second one, you end up going to watch Army of Darkness, and it just kind of keeps going, even to the point where like they had a show on Stars for a while that was Evil Dead that it kept right on going in that universe, and it's just still holding up, man. True. It's legitimately what made Bruce Campbell like a super mega cult star.
Which is crazy.
The dude's still cashing those checks, and hell yeah, brother. go get that money.
Streaming on Howdy and Fossum,
Howdy Doody, awesome.
and nowhere else. Just
This is where I condone piracy.
No. Stop. Hold on. Flex, Pluto TV. Oh, and the Roku channel. If you have a Roku.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can rent it from Prime.
I stand by
for
what I said.
You rent it for Prime for $4, which is it's a good rental if you haven't seen it in a while. It's a good way to spend $4. Thank you for that, Roger.
Only 4 though.
Only $4. Yeah, 4. Let's talk about an expanded discussion.
What do you got?
I want to talk about just for a brief moment.
You didn't brief us on this, so
I didn't want you guys to tell me not to do it.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Is it as bad as we think?
Lee Cronin's The Mummy is the expanded discussion.
No. I just want to talk about: is it from 10,000 feet above? Is it as bad as we think? I would argue yes. And we'll get into movie particulars here shortly, but I would argue it is worse than we think.
Okay. So let's talk about some stuff then. So, objectively speaking, is Lee Cronin's The Mummy worse than what we think? I think there's a couple ways to look at it. So, is this movie as bad as we think it is in terms of story, or are you talking about the entire production? Is it just the way we think about the movie and its delivery? Because this thing was made for only $22 million, which I was impressed by that number, honestly.
Yeah. When they were doing the budget, they were like, "No, we don't need light bulbs. We don't need to spend money on light bulbs. Get them out of there. We don't need them."
I mean, there are some dark shots. Don't get me wrong.
Everything is dark. It's all daylight we're looking at.
Well, for $22 million, and for the movie that we got, I mean, is this as bad as we think it is? We don't like it, but I don't know if it's as bad as we think it is. I think that this movie is painfully in line with this genre of horror. Unfortunately, it's not what I wanted out of it. This movie had potential in my opinion, in a lot of ways, but I didn't expect it to be as disappointing as it is to me here.
Well, I would premise that by saying, what if I had no expectations of this movie at all?
Okay.
Because we know who Lee Cronin is. We do. Most people don't.
I want to ask a question about that specifically. Mm-hmm. So, again, is this movie as bad as we think it is? Lee Cronin's name is on it. Besides Evil Dead Rise, what is this guy known for?
Nothing. Well, he's got one other movie before this that is officially his.
So why the hell is his name on this thing?
Well, so that this was going to be a discussion point for later, but I'll just bring it up now because I think it's very fitting for this. Mm-hmm. Why is his name on the movie? I'm not sure of. Why is this movie just called The Mummy? That I think is a better question to ask, because I know when I hear the phrase "The Mummy," I think Brendan Fraser, and
classic Mummy.
Well, that's the other thing, or the Boris Karloff Mummy. Most people don't go that far back. Most people hook up to the late '90s, early 2000s, the Mummy series.
It's the most relevant version of the Mummy, though.
The most current relevant version, yes. Okay, because technically we have the Tom Cruise The Mummy from 2017, which is also bad. Okay,
that no one watched.
Yeah, sure, but that was supposed to be a whole thing.
I know.
A big deal.
Yep.
You could have. I don't know exactly what you could have called this, like The Curse of Egypt, or, but
you should have called it a mummy.
Hey, Mummy.
Just Mummy.
Yeah.
Or that's actually not a bad idea. Mummy. Just Mummy. Not but Mummy would have been okay.
Mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Mummy does definitely have this.
Legitimately has a tie back to that. Now, I think when you've put Lee Cronin's name on there, I think the studio's idea, because in all honesty, I don't think Lee Cronin was like, my name has to be above.
I agree
it's not like,
Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, or whatever that is.
What's it? Halloween.
Oh,
where it's
John Carpenter's
Halloween. Because that's like the first big one that has that, right?
Yeah,
he's above the title thing.
John Carpenter's Vampires. Yeah, the first movie I remember seeing it had someone's name. Who's this guy?
Yeah, who's
this guy in the movie? And it's not.
But I don't think Lee Cronin is self-involved or self-egoed enough to be like, this is mine, and people need to know that it's mine. I think the studio puts it on there going, because, hey, Brendan Fraser ain't in this movie, which if you've seen anything from Blumhouse recently, because it's a Blumhouse movie, they're legitimately, this is not a Brendan Fraser movie. That's what they were doing on social media, which, one, I find hilarious, and two, sad.
Yeah,
because
very
you
sad.
chose to make this movie titled that.
Yeah.
Because look, I respect Lee Cronin for, and if nothing else he ever does, for Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Because that is a very good movie. Like, look, I don't like horror movies. You guys know this. I've talked about it a ton on this show. Like, I don't like scary things. I don't like things that gross me out. This movie is full of both of those. But like, I respect the hell out of Evil Dead for being clever, and being well written and intelligent and deeply funny at times. And
it had a good mix of that.
So good. And just to be like, this movie, which I guess from what I've read is supposed to kind of be in that universe, which is also weird. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You could have just named it something else.
Yep.
But the reason I think this movie is bad, besides all the other stuff I've already said, is this movie's a waste of time. This movie's 2 hours and 13 minutes long. Get the fuck out of here with that. When was the last time we seen a horror movie that's more than 2 hours
I was
long?
surprised to see its runtime.
Well, I think some of the Conjurings are one of the two of those might be over, but I think they deserved it at this point. I think they're very deserving of the runtime, and it makes sense, and they're usually pretty good. So all those things you can't say about Lee Cronin's The Mummy. So
this movie could have been 100 minutes.
Yeah,
there could have been a 90-minute version of this. There could also have been a 3-hour version of this. I think.
So that's also what I think though. Yeah. Because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. There's a longer cut of this.
You think time was cut for this thing? Yeah.
They realized they had to cut it down.
It always adds a layer of complexity when you kind of like align an outside force with the people that are with like your protagonists, quote unquote, because it adds a layer of what are they doing, what are they discovering, why are they relevant, what do they bring to the story at the end, and they did that with like 1.5 groups in this one with a police officer lady. Then
I just up and was like, I couldn't get him on the phone. I'm flying to Egypt from Egypt,
to
Albuquerque, Mexico.
Then they had the college professor guy who's just basically hopping and be like, "Yo, this stuff's relevant."
Okay, hang on.
He's never there again.
I want to talk about the archaeology thing for 1 second.
Well, I do too, but I want to. We're not actually in the movie discussion yet, which is hard.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I think it's bad from a 5,000 foot overview. Are you telling me? And like, look, this is not a slight. I don't mean this as a slight to Albuquerque Community College. I do not mean this as a slight. They do not have an archaeology department. Don't give me that bullshit.
You don't think ACC
no.
has
No, I don't. I do not think that.
This is not a slight on ACC?
No. Because, like, look, you just could have had it said, like, New Mexico State.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Why is it got to be community college?
Yeah.
With like one of those old examination rooms from like the 17th century where they're watching someone take apart a cadaver.
Yeah.
We live in an area with many community colleges.
True.
One of our largest, it's technically a university now. So like, I will still put this out there so you guys can laugh, because there are going to be like 5 people that hear this and laugh. Could you imagine be like, we took it to the West Liberty University archaeology department? And you would do exactly that. You would just laugh your ass off because it doesn't make any sense, dude.
If it was in a serious conversation with somebody, my first question is, when did they get that? Because
I've lived here my whole life and didn't know that existed. Like, get out of here.
That's crazy.
So I just wanted to kind of
the absurdity is what I mean.
I just kind of want to look at it without jumping into the movie yet. Of like, because I felt when I watched something like this, and then I walked out of this and I went to meet some people for food, and one of them's like, "Oh, you used to understand Lee Cronin." It's like, no, buddy, you don't. This movie is awful. Their motivation doesn't make any sense. The actions of the people. We talked about the drama last week and how the characters, some of them just didn't seem real. No one in this is real at all. They don't act like parents. The brother doesn't act like a brother. I mean, no one acts with any kind of like they're part of a family, or none of the community acts like they're part of this. They've known this family. No one acts normal at all in this film. The only person that says anything that makes any sense is the son. After the dad drops the son, the two kids off at school, when their daughter comes back, he's like, "What happened to her?" I was like, yes, the first person asked that question is a 14-year-old boy in this movie, when we had a bunch of doctors and nurses and no one. I mean, Roger said something pretty hilarious earlier too, which we'll get to. But
yeah, we'll talk.
I was pretty upset, and I think because like it's not often we watch a movie that I will agree with you guys that it's a complete waste of time, and this one is to me.
I think we can expand this discussion a little bit more. So it's not just necessarily from this movie. It's like movies that have some expectations that are just a complete letdown. like we have been talking about some side project stuff that we want to do, about a movie and why to convince a movie like why we hate it.
Yeah.
Which I think is when we do that, I think it'll be a very fun episode.
Yeah.
Like pick out what could be like a big time movie that most people love and be like, I hate that movie and here's why.
Yeah.
And try to convince other people of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody I know that is a horror buff, and I know some of them at this point from doing this, and it's not like I'm super connected or anything, but like people do talk to me about movies, and obviously I'm not the horror movie guy, but I've seen enough of it now to at least have an educated opinion.
Yeah.
Not a single person has told me like they love this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like saying to put the phrase I love a movie into something is big. I haven't had somebody be like, I like it.
Yeah.
Like no one's done that yet.
Yeah.
And to have somebody be like, you don't understand Lee Cronin. I would argue that we understand Lee Cronin more than 95% of other people.
I would argue you can't understand Lee Cronin when he has 2.5 work.
That's
like,
true.
What do you mean you don't get Lee Cronin?
But if Evil Dead Rise is any indication of what Lee Cronin, then he understood that assignment. It's this assignment doesn't make any sense. It's almost to me like he wanted to make another Evil Dead movie, and the studio was like, "We're not ready." He's like, "Okay, I'll just repackage it and make it something else." That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
It honestly God feels like.
So I mean, there's plenty of scenes that were happening in this movie, and I was like, "Oh, well, that happened in Evil Dead Rise."
Mhm.
Oh, that happened in Evil Dead Rise. Oh, they did this. It was like it was on repeat.
It's
in my
very
head.
similar.
It was like, oh, okay. And something weird about Lee Cronin, you do your thing, man, but you apparently have a thing for eyeballs and mouths.
The mouth, dude, like look,
all the mouth
the
shots.
mouth stuff and like slowly tearing and biting, dude.
Well, okay, I want to get in the movie, but
that ain't
I want to say
This ain't
it's like my final thought of like, is this movie as bad as we think? And you've not seen it. Watch this movie, but if you've not seen it yet, just put in the back of your mind that when you watch it, do everyone's actions make any sense?
Do they seem like real human beings?
Anyone.
And this is a movie where we have a mother of 3 kids. Her mother is tossed out a window. She looks down, sees coyotes eating her mother, who's screaming, and then the next sequence, they're downstairs arguing about what to do with the daughter. There's no time. Like what?
There's a lot of stuff that happens in this movie to get to that point, but what Grayson said, the absurdity of that scene alone. I mean, not even that part. The part where he's the husband. I forget his name right now, but he's in the car that she gets bounced off of, and the little kid who is also now
Charlie.
possessed by the demon is just laughing and yelling the C word.
Yep.
I wish that wasn't a real statement that I just made.
Okay, so let's get into it then. Without
We're flying today,
Oh,
boys.
man,
yeah,
this
we are.
thing, man,
We're
this
gonna
thing.
cook.
Look, this is gonna be bad for Lee Cronin. Sorry, buddy. But you made a shitty movie,
Hey,
dude. Own it.
Lee
Own
Cronin,
it, dude.
you're welcome to
Own
come
it.
on this show and defend it. Because okay, before you dig into it, I want to ask one more question.
Yeah.
About why maybe this movie is the way that it is. Do you guys get the feeling like the studio may have screwed with this movie?
I have a feeling it maybe, but also because I don't. It's got to have something to do with the recent announcement of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in the third Mummy, in a real Mummy 3. It's got to be something to do with that, or they realized how bad it was and they just wanted to screw it further.
The reason I bring that up is to circle back for a second, because this movie is like 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Yeah, it is.
I assume that I know that there's a 3-hour cut of this somewhere. And the studio's like, absolutely not. We can't put out a 3-hour movie about a mummy. We can't do that. Which, like, you can't put out a 2 hour and 15-minute movie about a mummy and have it work. I assure you, I've seen it, doesn't work. But I assume that they're like, the first cut of this movie, they're like, yeah, get rid of this, 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 and this. And he's reading through the notes going, I don't know if I can make that work.
I know.
You know, I don't. And this might be what we got as like patchwork to get it back together.
Well, I mean,
I don't know how much the studio has their hands in this, because I can't.
We'll never know.
I can't see through all the teeth and eyeballs that I saw in this movie.
and all the
some-
skin peeling off.
But in all seriousness,
Toenails.
there's too much of Lee Cronin from Evil Dead Rise in this movie for me to think that the studio meddled like a high amount. There's too much of him all over this.
Or they met him halfway and they made concessions. I mean that the fact that Lee Cronin's name is in front of this might have been the studio's way of saying,
Hey, this isn't us, man.
Yeah,
"That's Lee Cronin."
because that also could be it'd be like, look, we know this isn't very good, even by because like, look, we know Blumhouse.
They offered him $10 million to not put it out. He's like, nah, this is going out.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like Blumhouse, they could have sent this shit to Peacock or something.
Yeah.
Like this didn't have
or
to
Shutter
be
or something. I mean,
just
put it where.
theatrical.
Yeah.
Now, what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't a theatrical until The Mummy was announced, the Brendan Fraser one, and they thought, hey, maybe this will make some
I
money because people are excited.
suppose that's possible.
some accidental walk-ins.
No, not even that. Just
Chris is right, capitalizing on the fact that
because there's hype
Yeah.
around the other ones. Like, oh, let's go see this, man. You know, it'll be cool. And then
if it's going to go to a streaming
little
service,
Timmy and little Samantha who walk in there with mom and dad think it's going to be a fun family adventure, or
Brendan Fraser. Nope.
yeah, or with anything.
We're gonna
Because
see the Scorpion King.
I guess if you've already budgeted it to like,
certainly is.
I guess if you've already budgeted it to like come out on the streaming service, then you're like, okay, let's put it theatrically and make some money. Although there is a cost to that, and it's a pretty substantial cost. So I would imagine they probably still haven't made money back off of that.
I mean, they made $13 million on a $22 million budget so far.
Was it 22 million?
Yeah, it's not going to make much more, especially.
It's not.
No, it's not. But maybe internationally, the audiences will kind of dig it. But we'll see. Anyway,
Cairo's going to come out for this one.
no, I don't. Let's talk about some numbers. Let's get into it officially. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Let's talk about some numbers.
Yo.
Let's do it. Now, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, of course, directed by.
Hold on.
What?
Stop the press.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy debuted with 20.5 internationally this weekend.
I thought we just read it was 13.
No, that was domestic.
Oh. Okay.
So it's in the green.
Oh, 22 million
Well,
was budget.
Yeah, but
sure, but we know Blumhouse, they like 10xing their money, and they're not
Sure,
going to.
but I
Well,
mean-
yeah, they like to,
Yeah.
but they don't. They definitely
They
don't always.
we didn't get a third Happy Death Day because 100 million off of a $10 million budget wasn't enough. Of
yeah.
You think we're going to second The Mummy? Are you serious?
No. Also, bring back Happy Death Day, please. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
those are really good. So, of course,
I hear they're awesome.
You ever seen it?
No.
Check 'em out.
I
For real.
Lee
so
Cronin's,
every time.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy, directed and written by Lee Cronin.
Weird. I would have
Um,
never guessed.
The only name that most people
Steve
know,
Cronin's brother.
the only people that most people know is Jack Rayner and maybe May Callumway, which Roger, you told me she's
in Moon Knight.
she's in other things as well. But there's Natalie
the only
Grace,
person I recognize in this movie.
Billy Roy, Shiloh Molina, Leia Costa. Let's talk about it. The numbers. You guys know what the numbers are? You're gonna be
I have
pissed.
zero idea.
You're gonna be pissed.
No way it's 50-50.
46 is a tomato meter, but the popcorn meter is 76.
Oh.
So we are in the minority on this one.
I
But
don't care.
I'm happy to be fine.
That is,
Listen, I will die on this hill, brother.
it's very rare when the popcorn meter isn't 50 plus. So that's that's okay.
Do you know what the Metacritic is?
Can't be higher.
This
than
feels
30.
like a 41.
It can't be higher than 37.
Higher than 41?
And 37. Yeah,
Oh
obviously.
God.
What is
It's
it?
46.
The critic.
No,
That's just
Metacritic.
Metacritic.
Critic?
Hold
I
on.
mean, it's below 50. I don't.
Yeah.
don't-
Yeah. I mean, what's your below number? Doesn't matter.
If you'd have told me 50, I'd have been like, sure, whatever, man.
Yeah. Oh,
It's 9 points above Super Mario Galaxy movie at Metacritic. 9 points, you people.
That's really loud for people listening. In the
Good.
car.
I want to make sure they heard me on that one.
hold on. Do you agree that this is better than Mario?
No.
Okay, then.
No, I don't. No, because at
We
least
talked about this
Well,
before you got here.
Okay.
Well, for the same reason that you can excuse Mario for some of its mistakes, fan service, I guess for people who love horror, this could do the same thing. Although I would say the same thing for both. If your story doesn't make any sense, you're dead at the wall. You've made something that you cannot do anything with.
One is making
So-
20 million. One's making 750 million.
Fair, but one cost 20 million to make, and the other one cost 140 to make.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
I
just
mean, all right. Yeah.
depending on how you
Numbers
see
might
that, I
actually
suppose.
Not about the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, we'll see when it's finally done, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
see this going higher than 30 or 35. I just don't.
No, domestically.
I think it's
no.
dead next week.
Yeah, 100%. You're
Yeah.
right about that. However, let's take a look a little deeper, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. When the credits started to roll, what was your first thought?
Well,
Go ahead. Have at it, buddy.
Actually, we should do thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should.
okay,
Yeah,
do that.
Lee Cronin's the Mummy. Did we like it or did we not?
No, yeah, come on. we don't need a countdown. Come on.
Maybe the fastest. All three of us were just like, no.
That may be the fastest,
Hey.
and combined, we're all
You know
gonna-
why? Because we respect the listener's
Sure.
time. You know what I mean?
I sent out a text message today to both Grayson. Chris was having trouble with our
I'm
group
still having
text,
trouble. I'll
which
show
is
you guys
weird,
later. Yeah.
Which is weird. But I sent out, Chris was like, hey, group text isn't working, blah, blah. And I was like, we're talking about something else. I was like, also, this movie sucks shit. It's the same thing I sent to
You know, there's
Grayson.
probably a scene in here somewhere that got removed of someone sucking shit.
This
This
movie
guy's-
sucks shit. Roger Stillion.
Yes. Yeah. Put that on your fucking poster, Lee
Oh,
Cronin.
my
That's
God.
it's just okay. So my first thought was, and I don't say this but once or twice a year, and I mean I dogged Mario pretty hard. I would not say this about Mario. This is a waste of my time. This is a waste of my 2 hours, like literally 2 hours and 15 minutes. I want it back, and I bought a drink. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I got a soft drink. I got a Sprite. I was like, I'm gonna go and enjoy this, and I wish I had spent the money on the Sprite. Or the movie, but I wouldn't. But the Sprite I could have done without. But
Yeah.
man, this is just. And sometimes I think, is it me, the old man screaming at clouds, who like looks at this and because it's actually my friend who looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you don't understand Lee Cronin." I said, I'll grant you, I'm not the biggest horror aficionado. I like horror. I don't understand it as well as I'd like to, but I am willing to bet you're wrong about that statement. But
I mean, it's just there's just nothing here to get, and that's
Sure, that's my point.
And that's the movie's fault because okay, so this movie starts out, and I think the first 20 minutes of this movie are fine.
That's when it's actually a movie.
Yeah. This movie
That's
is
before you realize how terrible these parents are.
yeah, true. This movie sets up far better than it at all begins to deliver, right? Like the opening 20, 30 minutes of this is fine. Like you have the family set up, you understand their dynamic, something terrible happens, they're going through life, they get some news, and then the movie shows you what it's going to be. And it's like up until then, the acting was better. Like it's like everything about this movie was better before they go back to Egypt. And then it's just terrible for a long time. And then the movie goes out the window with grandma. Like it's just not.
I disagree, 100% disagree. I'll tell you why.
Bro, I caught that. Out the window
Yeah,
with grandma.
like-
Yeah.
I mean, what would you disagree with?
So I would disagree with because I think whenever there's a movie about a little girl gets hurt or trouble, I think of you guys. You guys are girl dads, so
Sure.
we have actual barometer on the show, and many listeners, many people are girl dads. So in that situation, he sees his daughter out in the garden playing, and then we cut back in the house, and he goes off doing his thing. Someone's talking to her through the fence, obviously a little shady, giving her chocolate.
A little shady.
First of all, don't accept chocolate from strangers outside your fence, and then
Sound advice.
and then she's missing, and then he looks for her, but he goes down the stairs into the garden and looks around, and then he does the thing when I'm like, no, why would you? He sees that there's a hole in the fence and his daughter's missing, and then turns around, looks back at the house. What are you looking for? Get through that hole. Go find your fucking daughter. Like it enrages me. You guys would have been through that hole in 1 second, right?
I mean, I get more enraged when he's running down the street in a sandstorm.
Well, see, that's kind of a natural that's the movie start. Like that's kind of a natural segue
Yeah,
into the rest of the
I
film.
get that again, but it's just like, really, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like I would argue, and this is not because I think this is a bad part of the movie here. I actually think this is probably the better part of the film. You don't need that chase scene.
No,
You
absolutely
don't.
no.
You could just
It
have
could
it.
it could have just cut with him like going to the fence, looking around like and it just cuts to black instantly,
And
and
then
then we
8
go,
years
we go
later.
8 years later,
Yeah,
right?
he runs out the fence, goes left to right, and then just
Yeah,
hard cut.
sure,
Yep.
fine.
100%. Instead, we get 3.5 minutes of some weird chasing, and we know he's not going to catch her.
Yeah.
8
Like,
years
why
later,
do that?
8 years later, it says 8 years later, and like 4 people are having dinner: a mom and dad and 2 kids, and the camera's slowly tracking it. Like, okay, there's not 3 kids, there's 2, because before that we know that
Yeah,
the
so
mother's
she's
pregnant.
Yeah.
So we pick. It's easy to pick that, and again, that's like there's 4 minutes you
God.
save.
God,
So we're already from 213 down to 209. Okay,
good.
fair.
We're below 210.
Yeah.
So look, we get this
Hey,
to
we'll get there.
155.
We'll get there.
I just don't understand why Lee, do we need this chasing? Oh yeah, we need it. Trust me, Lee Cronin. I don't know, but it's one of those things. Like that's where the movie stops being acceptable to me is after that, because they don't act like a family.
Well,
Nothing.
this is where from this point forward, you realize 1, these are bad parents. 2, like there are bad doctors
Yep.
in every country.
Oh, the doctors.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, hang on. So we skip ahead 8 years, and it's basically they get a phone call. Hey, something's happened. There's a plane crash, which is okay, sure. That leads to an archaeology thing. They find a sarcophagus, and the kid is in it. Okay, she's alive somehow. Okay, wrapped up. She's here. We're going back to Egypt.
Mhm.
Okay, we get to Egypt, and we see this kid, and buddy, this kid is not okay.
Listen,
This child is not
Chris,
fine.
Listen.
we live in an area that isn't medically gifted in our options available, right?
No.
There's not a single doctor that is going to look at that child and tell the parents some time at home is all she needs.
Her vitals are strong.
Because she looks like she's been through hell.
Buddy, she looks like a dead body.
Exactly. That's my point.
She looks like hell, like the actual embodiment of.
Yeah.
So if I were,
Like, if you told me to find someone who looked like a demon in this room, I'd be like, her. Her. She's a fucking demon.
I walk in there, hey, sir, you can take your child home. No,
Buddy.
no, she needs to stay in here. Do you not have
Like,
eyeballs?
like the fact that the parent, I know the parents have been waiting 8 years for their daughter, and it's like, I need to take my daughter home, and the doctors might be heebie-jeebied out because demon.
Oh, no, they're probably like, you should take her home.
yeah, so yeah.
You know,
So-
we'll sign off on the paperwork.
I thought that's what they're gonna kind of do with the nurse when that like slid open the thing, was gonna like look back or move her out of the way because like she's very eerie of the child. No, they're just like, yeah, she'll be okay soon. Take her home. Give her warm baths with a sponge.
It's one of those things that when you're the editor looking at this, you're like, we need to cut that.
Yeah.
We have, because it makes no sense, and you're better off not addressing it at all. Because
I would have accepted more. See the plane crash, and then she just shows up at the fucking house. Like no, because the supernatural element, you can say whatever you want. That's more believable.
like the daughter, like her remembering coming. Well, no, because the daughter was somewhere else. They were in somewhere else, weren't they?
They were in, yeah. They I would have accepted it more. It's more believable that demon mummy magic gets her to her parents' home rather than these doctors left her out of the hospital. That's the point I'm making.
Sure. Yeah. So you're telling me these medical professionals say she's all right, even though she was in a sarcophagus.
Knows the details of why she's there.
Her skin is falling off,
Literally.
wrapped in whatever these things are.
Hang on, I'm checking flights from Cairo to New Mexico because I have to know how long this is and how many. Okay, look, if you walk through an airport with this child and it'd be like she's riding on this plane, and I worked that plane, to be like,
Oh, I didn't even think they had to get her home.
buddy. Logistically, this movie is a fucking nightmare. Logistically, because like, look, so I'm letting Priceline do its thing here.
Yeah.
Let's see if, oh, hang on.
Is it there?
Okay, this is
9-hour flight.
no, God, way longer than that.
Yeah, man.
From Cairo to
I
Albuquerque.
flew to Japan in 14 hours.
Okay,
It's
well, there's
further.
no direct flight, so we know that.
Okay.
So if you were to fly from Cairo, okay, to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the shortest time frame is 24 hours.
Probably like 3 airport
There's
stops. Yeah.
2 stops. So
Yeah.
okay, so imagine taking this child who is embattled at best, okay,
Yep.
through 4 airports, security, customs, and back to our quaint little home in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which is a nice home, by the way.
Sure, great place.
Yeah. I don't know how they afford that, but it's fine.
You know, here's the thing though. I don't understand why and Grayson mentioned this to me earlier. Why don't they just have this movie set in Egypt the whole time?
Why? Yeah.
Why are we back in Albuquerque? Like,
Why
why bring
just leave it
the
over-
to our
yeah.
shores?
Just leave them over
Again,
there.
It gives them more believability if they would just do that,
Yeah.
right? Instead of whatever they're doing. Well, because they have to be an American family.
But let me skip ahead again.
Yeah.
Logistically, other things that are problems. So there has been, during this whole time that she's been missing, there has been a detective who has been working this case.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more vital after she's back because they start to unwind this case a little bit.
Yeah.
They find a videotape, which is, of course,
Wild.
sure.
Yeah.
Why
wild.
not? Right? And she calls the family to try to explain what she's found, to update them on the case. They don't answer one time. One phone call. She's like, I got to go tell him. She hops on a plane from fucking Cairo, 24 hours to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
She doesn't send a single text. She's just like, you know what?
Not an email. Hey, let's have a fucking Teams meeting. We don't do that here. This is a great opportunity to pitch Zoom.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
throwing out
sponsorship even right there. Get
great,
some money
get
on
some
it.
money on that.
It doesn't make any sense.
She just
at
gets
all.
on a plane and is like, I'm going.
Yeah.
You think the Cairo Police Department is funding that? They're like, we need you to fly all the way to New Mexico for this demon possession that they should be happy that they've gotten rid of.
True.
We have eliminated a demon.
Yeah. Their chief of police like, no, don't do that.
Hey, you're gonna fly over there, but don't
we'll let you
make
go.
sure it doesn't come back.
She doesn't get to come back.
Yeah.
Bring no demons home.
Also, you're flying coach. We're not paying for this bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Flying out of Cairo.
fair. So
God.
it does. So there's a lot of.
I'll get back to more logistical things.
So there's a lot of things like that bother me too, and like I understand, like even in wonderful films, like any of the Lord of the Rings movies, like travel kind of like if you think about it, it's like well that would have been like
Travel's
a
hard.
5 hour, but like you don't in a better movie it doesn't. You don't notice it as much.
There was a movie recently though where we had a lot of trouble with flights where they were just like, oh, you got to go do this real quick, and it was like 24 hours later they were back where they started, but they had to fly from like the New York area to like North Africa and back. What movie was that? Do you remember that?
No, but it was recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember talking about it.
It was like they did time travel.
Yeah.
They teleported to places.
So, I mean, we're digging a lot into like just like the.
That's how absurd this shit is.
No, I mean, that's kind of the point I'm going to make is like it's so easy to do this, and we can pick any point in this movie and probably be able to do this, and that's a problem. Like this thing is this you can dismantle this film in so many different ways, and okay, like what if the point is? I mean, it's just supposed to be some gory horror flick. Go see it. You know what though? I'm sorry.
Drama.
No.
It
was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, but like it's like I can't help but think about some of these things as I'm watching your movie, and you don't have to be perfect on this, but there has to be something in this that makes I could watch a cartoon if I wanted something that wasn't going to be realistic, or have some grounding to it whatsoever. This thing is all over the place, and if it's just an excuse, a vessel to watch people open and clank their teeth together, because goddamn, or watch someone's eyeball get poked.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about the gore a little bit, right? Because I know
Well, gore or mouth shots.
No, Gore.
There's two
That
different
falls into Gore, I think.
There's a whole different category. But
okay. Go ahead with your mouth shot thing.
it's fucking wild. So this is
Gross.
It's not even gross in a way that like is it benefits the movie. It's just someone obviously thinks that either that mouths are gross and they should show close-up shots of them. We get like 5 different characters close-up shots on their mouths for different reasons, different points of this movie. And we get the same weird shot angle of just seeing the eyeball and forehead of our mummy when we've already seen her face. So like it's like I don't think you can redo the same shots and get away with it and have positive praise for your film because it's showing a lack of depth. It's showing a lack of mastery within the craft because you're using the same one trick over and over again.
Well, it just means that Lee Cronin's one trick pony. Like his Evil Dead Rise was good, but everything's going to be Evil Dead Rise going forward. I mean, it's what it looks like to me.
But it's things like that. It's like there aren't other things you could shoot that are gross and disgusting about the human anatomy.
Well, they did plenty. I mean, skin just falling off like it was a well done ham or something. I don't know. It's just falling off the bone. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I get it.
That toenail sequence was. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want anything to do with. And somewhere I knew Roger was squirming worse than I was.
Okay, but hold on. Like, is that effective and should go in a positive movie?
I don't think so.
Why? Okay, but if it made you grossed out, which is, I think, the point of those scenes. Doesn't that deserve that small tick in its column then?
Well, no, because for the same reason why I think Gore won its own category over the years from the early 2000s is because it's not horror. It's not scary. It's like Saw. Saw's not scary. It's gross. Like the first one may have been because all the jump cuts, but the rest of them are just gross. Same with like, there's the trick to like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's probably more gore in that movie than needs to be. The original Halloween's probably a little better with the horror element, when Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like, we can one up Halloween with the gore, and I understand the want to do that. Or Halloween I think Halloween come after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't remember
It
which,
doesn't matter.
but it's I am Hostel. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, sure.
Hostel to me
Okay.
is exactly what you're talking about. I'm watching because they labeled it as horror, but there was nothing horror about it. It was all purely watching people's body parts get mangled, and
Yes.
it's like you've tricked me into the theater when I don't want to be there. I don't love watching people's skin just fall off their leg. I understand it's cool and like the people, like the special effects people and the makeup people, like it's
Probably
cool
love
for
that
them.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's probably like 40 people in the world who can do that and make it look good on screen, but it's just gross, man. Like
I agree with you. That is gross. But if their goal is to gross you out, they've effectively succeeded.
Oh, yeah,
in
no,
what
it's
they're trying to do
successful.
in that. And
Fair,
the
fair.
only thing I'm saying is because listen, I hate this movie. I don't want to take away from the thing it is trying to do because I didn't enjoy your film. Because I'll tell you what, when she rips on that nail and her whole and all of the skin on her,
Upper leg.
from her toe to her shin comes
Oh,
off,
geez, gross.
I yelped because goddamn, no, thank you. You know what I mean? And they were trying to make you do that. And good, they succeeded in that. Where they didn't succeed is making a cohesive movie and replayed the same tricks over and over again, and then want me to applaud their film because they didn't earn that part of it. They got a few screams out of me,
Well,
which
there are
there's
some moments in this movie besides like that's the first big one that's like ooh gross.
Mhm.
Because I remember in my theater everybody was just kind of like ooh, like you could
Yeah.
hear it like around
Yeah.
everyone was like
which
"Oh."
everyone has that reaction. That is their goal,
Yeah.
and they succeeded there.
Well-
You know what I mean? Good for them.
You know, we alluded to Grandma getting tossed out the window. Can we talk about her funeral scene for a minute? just a second, right? Because like there is an insane sequence that happens during this funeral that they decide to have in their home. Don't do that. Okay, so
Yep.
as the possessed demon mummy girl upstairs is tunneling through the roof.
I wanted her to say here.
which I think Roger, I didn't realize it was her vomit that may have done that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, where
Yes.
did that come from? But it's her
Yeah.
vomit that they did not clean up. Again, they didn't clean up
Oh,
vomit.
terrible parents.
Weird.
But
Oh, yeah.
still, okay, so as she's tunneling through the ceiling, we have the little sister
Who's
who is possessed
Yeah.
or subset of possessed.
influenced?
What,
Yeah.
what is it when you rent out your apartment? Subletted. She has been subletted by a demon. Okay. Who has pulled out her fucking teeth
One at a time.
and they're in a pile on the floor.
And none of the
No one-
adults
no
noticed
one has
this.
noticed.
House is full of adults, by the way.
Yeah, no one has
And
noticed.
no
this.
lights are on.
Almost none.
There's no room in the budget.
So,
We're
what-
not
what's
paying the
girl's
light
name?
bulbs,
Is it-
right?
Is it
There's no room in the
Katie? It's
budget.
Katie, right?
Katie's the mummy. Yeah.
Mummy. Okay. As she then explodes through the ceiling
Doesn't explode. She like
Oh,
crawls on
yeah.
the ceiling when
and then onto the casket.
Into the casket.
Into the casket. Like
with
swan dives
with
into-
Meemaw.
with Grammy.
with Meemaw already been eaten by the coyotes.
And then she starts tearing at her
Yep.
and biting her neck.
Yep.
And then, as of course, the casket falls to the ground
Mhm.
and starts drinking the embalming fluid,
like a dog.
like, yeah, that is leaking out of her
Yeah.
corpse.
Here's
Buddy, I'll give him one thing. I've never fucking seen that before. Never.
there's
Also, didn't like it.
everything that Roger just said, and there's still something that's more unbelievable that happens next. Is she jumps onto some random man,
right.
rips into his neck, and the next scene isn't them in a police station, having charges out against them, and Katie being taken to some sort of facility for study, being destroyed or testing. You know what I mean? Instead, we're just it's now the evening, and the house is quiet.
No, and for the first time, somebody makes a decent point. Maybe we need to get her some help. No fucking shit, Mom. No fucking shit.
I can't. It's the same sequence of because the grandma it does the thing which I hate is like there's so this happens twice maybe where she's got a hold of someone's on like she's got a hold of their body and she's like elevating it above
I mean,
the
for a
floor.
while, she
Yeah.
loved to headbutt Grandma.
And,
dude,
and
listen.
she can't, and she's like doing this, and then like they don't have any way to, and then it keeps cutting to someone who's doing something else in the house. And, like you want to hear, because we can hear struggling, like we hear that noise, and they for some reason aren't registering it. But it's you want them to like. The only reason you're cutting back and forth because you're telling us that person's going to hear it and go see it.
Yeah.
But very frustratingly, Never happens. So we see the grandmother go flying out the window. We know who does it.
Hilarious.
And then when the mom runs up and runs in, the mummy's in the bed, Katie's in bed, and the grandmother's flown out the window.
Yeah.
And the coyotes are eating her as she's. So then the very
Still
next
gets an open casket, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
and then the very next sequence is Jack Rayner, the husband, and the wife arguing that they don't know what to do. There's no grieving for grandma. There's none of it. It just doesn't make any
Again,
sense.
where are the fucking cops? What happened to grandma? I don't know. How'd she fly 55, 60 feet out this window, brother? Like it wasn't straight down.
No.
It's like down and across the
Yeah,
yard.
she didn't like tumble out the window.
Yeah.
She had
She didn't trip and fall out the way. It didn't fall down a ladder.
She had measurable flight time.
She bounced off a windshield.
Well, like in their reaction, they're just like,
Yeah. He's just sitting there like dumbfounded.
"Get out of the car, brother!"
Okay, this is after he had to go pick up the daughter from school, who is now possessed, and she keeps saying the word "cunt."
Yeah, she keeps on calling. She called the teacher that.
And then who is subletted by a demon
Mhm.
is laughing hysterically as grandma is being devoured by coyotes. Wild sequence.
It bothers me to a core that this got like they didn't watch this and we're like we're gonna shelve this. Let's just
Again, I
claim
think
the
this-
money and
I
shelve
think
it.
this movie is coming to streaming, and for hype, they're like, you know what? Slap his name on it. He can get blamed for put it in theaters.
I have two more things I
proceed.
want to
Yeah, go ahead.
bring up,
Good.
and then we can probably close this down. Okay.
This thing's
So-
wild, man.
As when the detective arrives,
Yeah.
okay, she's
From
got
Egypt.
from Egypt. She's got a videotape. The first question she asks is like, "Do you have a VCR?"
This is first off, no. This is
I do,
after. Well, you do, but they don't.
Oh.
This is after the funeral debauchery that has happened. By the way, this isn't like when things are tame.
No, this is
Continue.
like bad things have happened.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Okay. So she knows this video enough later on to perform this ritual.
Yeah.
Like from the chanting, which implies to me that she was watching this while she's on the plane, which cannot be true because it's a fucking VHS tape.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense here.
she memorized it all from two watches. Once in the police station, once there.
Right? Like enough to correctly perform a ritual to eliminate this demon from the girl to transfer it to dad.
Yeah.
Dad's a sacrificial lamb here, and I get that. Like taking one for the team, pops. I get that.
Yeah.
As a girl dad, I would do that.
Yeah.
Then brings back into logistics problem number 2.
Get it?
We're going back to
We're
Egypt,
going-
baby. We're going back to Egypt. With dad is now possessed.
But they can control him. He
it-
doesn't do anything bad to anybody.
No,
He's playing ball with them. Like he's playing the game. But like there's no indication why is it different for him than it was for
no,
Katie.
like we don't know.
Because the will of a loving father.
Oh yeah, see, his soul is so inspired. I don't fucking
Shut
know,
up,
dude.
both of you.
No,
the movie does not say anything about like
that's the thing.
you know.
It's just sort of okay for dad to be possessed.
I'm just surprised that in a movie that was bold enough to like have you seen children getting tortured in some way, shape, or form,
Bad, yeah.
and messed up and ripping out their own teeth, that they felt like they needed to give the family a happy ending, because that's what that is,
Yes.
right? In a twisted way, that's what that is. That's don't worry, dad's downstairs in grandma's casket with Mima.
in his box.
Yeah,
chained up.
yeah, and then
Daddy's sleeping.
we're gonna take him home to go after the real big bad lady, which is just a woman doing the worst shit ever, but like what she's probably been told her whole life and bloodline is meant to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
She's the most successful. She got the fucking demon out of the country. Like this.
I mean,
this
yeah.
fuck, we're not
I mean, yeah.
no more. Go on.
it's just it's wild to me that like some of the risks this movie wants to take, they don't do it well, but like they do. But then like, I mean, I guess it's cool that dad gets to like murder this lady, and then like, all right.
But what are you left with? What are we left with? Like, there's no conclusion here that makes any
No.
sense,
You know
except
why?
that they wanted a
Because
sequel.
we're going to
Bait.
get a sequel
No,
out of
no,
this.
no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
There was a plan for it. You
Blumhouse.
can't tell me that there's not.
Blumhouse. If you've
From what you watched, you can't tell me that there wasn't.
Hey, they're not giving him.
Okay, fine, but
Yeah.
somewhere somebody has written Lee Cronin's The Mummy too.
Yeah,
The-
Lee
Cronin's-
Cronin did.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy Returns.
no,
That's
no,
the
no.
Mummy movie, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it The Mummy Returns?
He wrote it.
Lee Cronin's The Scorpion King. Which we do have a hell of a, like Chris
And
mentioned
can
earlier.
we talk about that
we
for a
have a hell of
second?
a thing with the
Can we
scorpion.
talk about like I think the same person that did set design for Scream 7 must have done the set design for this too, because like what house is built like that have an exact outline of the house, but like on the other side of the wall that you can walk through? Who does that?
That's a lot of wasted space for a house.
Getting in,
Go
build
back
up
in
with
the day.
installation, and
Well, there was
get
no
it.
installation. Like that crawl space connecting like all the upstairs rooms. There's no house.
It's purely for the movie. Is what
It
I'm
is.
saying. It's like, yeah. Well, we got that in Scream 7, didn't we? Didn't
Yeah.
as he like poke through the wall.
The
and
panic room.
it's just
scenario.
so it must have been the same set designer for that. But it's also like you could have cut that entire sequence out. I mean, it gave me flashes to like what could have been great. You guys remember when we watched last summer? It was a movie I worked on in Pittsburgh. Well, actually, it was on
that weird pickle movie.
No, this was another
Was it
endeavor.
Mercy?
This was another endeavor. Do you remember The Deliverance on Netflix? 2022, 2023 came out, I think. Anyway, you remember the little kid was possessed by something in the basement? We watched it on Netflix. We talked about it.
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
And the mother was like having a hard time. She got divorced and everything, and she was having a hard time like with her family and everything. Is like there's a really great sequence when the kids were asleep, and the way like they were asleep in the bunk beds, and you saw the door to get outside in the hallway, but on the other side of the door was the hall was sorry, on the other side of the door was the closet that we kept seeing like move over a little bit.
yeah.
And like a really cool sequence could have like one of the kids, because I see something and like what I expected from that was the one of the kids to wake up the other one and be like, what is in the closet right now? It's moved. Like what a great sequence that would have been. And like I expected that in this, like when the thing was banging on the wall and like the brother picks up the bat, like I was like, okay, something might have an opportunity to happen that's cool here. And then it's just the parents come busting in and they go through they open the door and there's cobwebs, which by the way, you'd have to kill me. I would never go through that in the cobwebs.
Cobwebs are bad.
Couldn't do it. And then they find her running around the house, which only the kids can hear. The adults couldn't. Yet it sounds like a fucking freight train running through.
Yeah.
It doesn't. How do you explain? Like, how do you, as an editor, look at this and be like, "Yeah, it's good, print." Like, how
Send
do you
it.
do that?
Full send.
Why is she skittering?
Why is she in the walls at all? Like, yeah. And why is she
That's
eating
why skittering
like? Why is she eating scorpions? Why are there scorpions just running around in that? It's just.
Scorpions are delicious.
Have you ever had?
I mean, not coming back up apparently because that looked rough for her.
a lot of vomit in this movie too.
It's Lee.
A lot of skin.
Don't understand Lee Cronin.
Touche, my friend. Touche.
Hell yes. Hell
well
yes.
done.
Hell
That
yes.
was good.
Ah.
That was fucking perfect,
Like,
dude.
So, Evil Dead Rise had a
It is a
scene,
movie.
had a scene in it that was really effective. I think
Okay.
There are
where
a couple scenes there.
where mom is talking through the
The
doorway.
peephole.
Well, talking to well at first, but it starts out she's talking to the daughter
Okay.
and trying to bait her in, letting her in. She's being sweet, and her voice is kind of going in and out a little bit. And then as it's closer and closer, the demon realizing that she's not going to trick the little girl, letting her in, she gets nasty,
Gets
right?
mean.
And then we have that scene again in here, but it's less effective. It's not as well written, and it's completely predictable. So, and I think it's predictable because Lee Cronin did this in another movie, right? Evil Dead Rise. It's an example of you're not gonna be able to sell the same scene twice if you don't do something interesting with it every time. This one, all they did was have one little girl licking another little girl's toes, which is fucking weird, brother. Like
No.
it just doesn't make sense that that's what you chose to do, coming off of something you found a lot of success with. And I get that you want to do something with that success, but man, you got to try harder than this. This just isn't it.
Yeah.
And then we also get this weird CGI-ish moment with like the sandstorm in the house and dad pulling away, and our
Forgot about
extremely powerful and extremely agile and fast mummy girl, which we've seen this whole movie going through walls, zipping up and down the stairs, staying out of view. But now she's slower than a sloth crawling after dad. But it looks really cool on
She
screen.
moves like Gollum sometimes, and then she moves like molasses another time.
Yeah, then she looks like she's disabled.
It's the same like with weapons. The kid's like, "How do you want me to run?" The director's like, "You ever seen Naruto?"
Like Naruto.
And then the little girl's like, when I'm in my makeup, how do you want me to go across the floor? He's like, have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? Remember
You know
Gollum?
what steer means?
Um, so we should. I just want a couple of final
No,
thoughts here.
no, I get you. I just, again, it's just examples of, man, you made something kind of cool, but I would implore you to reach that out a little wider instead of narrowing and focusing on what worked in the last film and make it all about the things that work. Because now you're just repeating tropey, and the next time Lee Cronin's name is on something, I'm not going to be excited to see it. You know what I mean? Because now I'm just expecting you to use the same washed up shit, and it's not going to be any different.
I would argue the reason Evil Dead Rises works is because the story is good, and the story in this movie is the worst part.
The characters and the writing make the story bad because
Yeah.
I think the premise is fine.
I mean, the idea is fine.
Yeah.
Well, there may have been a great thing here at one, like on paper, that may have been great.
Yeah. Possessed little girl ends up in America by a mummy or ancient Egyptian demon.
American Family lives in Egypt, and a whole bunch of shit happens there.
Yeah.
Cool. Not whatever we got. You know what I mean? And what's the point of the coyotes?
To eat,
So they
eat
could eat the
grandma.
mom.
Are they demon coyotes?
I mean,
Are they
are-
possessed?
I assume I kind of got the vibe that we're supposed to assume that they're.
I thought it was something cooler than that. See, even that was a letdown because I thought it was like, nature itself is rejecting the mummy being here.
Yeah.
Like they're like
Or nature's upturned because the mummy is
yeah.
here.
It's like, okay, cool, man. These dogs, like, because
I can see that.
coyotes usually aren't aggressive. They're scared all the
Scared
time.
animals.
They're skittish. But now they're like, brother, you got to get that out of here. And no, they're
I'm gonna
just
eat grandma to prove a point.
yeah. And now they're just hungry.
Oh,
Whatever.
right.
So,
Eating grandma.
It's just
Grayson, do you have any final
my,
thoughts about this?
so if we're doing final thoughts, is
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset, and I don't want to. I hate being like an old man screaming at a cloud. Which I'm glad that you guys agree with me. I thought there was a chance you guys might not. And look, if you like this movie, that's great. Please
let us
write it
know
in so
why.
we can tell you how fucking wrong you are.
Tell us how we don't get Lee Cronin.
Yeah,
please.
that's fair.
Tell Grayson that only. I understand.
No, I don't. I just look. If you have an argument, I'd like to hear it because maybe it's something that I'm just not seeing. But I'm more focused on the broken things in this movie, which don't make any sense. The motivation, what the characters do, what they say, the detached performance from Jack Rayner as a. You want in the early part of the film, you want me to believe that he's his dad who loves his family, protects his family. But in the second half of the film, he is paralyzed and cannot do anything.
He looked like he looked dead in the eyes.
That's just Jack Rayner.
Well, here's the thing. I thought that maybe it was because of what he's going through in the movie. I think it's because of filming this movie is what it was, not his character.
He's
I think
just sad in his
yeah,
heart.
yeah. He's just like, man, I just want to go home. This movie's gonna stink.
The last
a
movie
fucking
that I
paycheck,
thought was
baby.
like this was Night Swim. Do you guys remember that one
Oh, Night Swim was bad.
with Kurt Russell's kid? What's his name?
Haunted Pool.
The Haunted Pool. I do remember that.
Yeah, the Night Swim. Which I thought that movie was terrible, but I
Dude,
thought
spent-
about this.
I spent half that movie going, don't stick your fucking hand in there, dude. Don't do that.
Night Swim. I don't know which one's worse. That's
Look,
bad.
when you have to ask the question.
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
you're
problem.
already in the wrong company.
This
It's
is not the area you want
look. There may have been something cool here, Lee Cronin, and for your sake, I hope there was, and it just didn't translate. But come on, man, you could do better than this. We've seen it. I expect a higher bar from you. That's my final thoughts. Is this movie is terrible, and if you go watch this, you're going to. I hope you're going to watch it because you want to see how terrible bad it is, which kind of in its own way is kind of a curiosity by itself. But you're going to be upset when you waste. Don't buy Sprite. Don't do what I did. Just the ticket, the movie ticket price, all you want to waste. But I was very disappointed in this.
smuggle in snacks.
Yeah.
I haven't done that either. Come on now, or do like smuggle an entire pizza like some people do,
Go
Yeah.
bold, be
Yeah.
bold.
Yeah.
or like a
Live
full on
Moss.
sub or something.
Live Moss.
I'll go next.
All right.
Night Swim was a legendary pool because
That's deep, man. That's a deep fucking cut.
oh my goodness, it's a pool. I get it. It's a pool. It's got a deep.
Is that one the dads also acts aloof
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
time?
yeah.
But there's a reason for it in that one. This one, there's no reason for it.
This movie's bad, and if this is your thing, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you've already seen this movie, like I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but this movie from a movie making standpoint, from looking at it critically, talking about the film, because I've got a couple of years doing this now. I'm allowed to have an opinion. No one's got to agree with it, but I'm betting 7.5 out of 10 people at least are going to say this movie sucks, and they're right.
It's a low number, I think.
I gave it as much benefit of doubt as I could. So yeah, this movie sucks. I don't waste your time and your money when it comes out on streaming like it was planned to begin with. watch it then, and you'll hate it just as much as you would if you went to see it.
My final thoughts are it stinks and I don't like it.
Yeah,
That's fair. I usually argue. I usually fight back against that, but I cannot find any redeeming quality in this film, and I'm usually the guy who finds it. I cannot.
This is one of the first times in a while we have unanimously been like, not only do we not like this movie, that it's bad.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we got
Beat
to
up something.
we got to beat up something, and we're all like, yeah.
Oh, I take it back. There's one thing I like with it, and they never went anywhere with it. The Layla thing, where she's like Morse coding out. I thought, okay, there's something in there to
The
still
idea
her.
behind that, sure, but like it just dies.
Well, that's the idea. I think that you're right about the longer cut. There may have been where they like the girl is still there and the demon hasn't taken over completely, which I would have preferred. But now that looking back, that whole sequence, I guess they were like, how do we connect Layla to the dad? And you're like, just have her morse it out.
It's worse than that. It was Lee Cronin going, how can I get another teeth shot of this girl, but have an excuse to look at her teeth really close up so you have to watch them? Because that's all that was.
And it's great that he knew Morse code. How many people know Morse code? There's probably like
He didn't. He had to go look it up, remember?
Did he look it up?
Yeah, he had to get her old scout book and figure it out.
A Girl Scout, they're going to know properly how to decode Morse code.
Hey, in Cairo, they might. I'm not going to rag on Cairo's Girl Scout program, okay?
Lots of people know Morse code.
Okay,
little explorers of Cairo out there. Like, no shade to these people. They're probably nice. They're probably fine people.
All right.
Close us down.
All right. I'm just disappointed. But all right. That does it for us in episode 78 of Post Credits Podcast, a show where we are lucky enough to talk about movies with you. If you listen to this episode on an audio-only service, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Podbean, feel free to come on over to YouTube. Check us out there also. Turn us on while you're doing work. Whatever it is you people do, turn us on in the background. Like and subscribe. Smash those buttons. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later this week for a surprise bracket battle that Roger and I don't even know what's on it.
Nope,
Chris
no
knows.
idea.
We don't. and next week for another film.
I don't know why I did this.
It'll be Michael next week. We can say that.
Michael.
Oh, God.
Michael.
Big one next week.
Dang it.
King of Pop.